Welcome to You and Your Money. Today's episode features Logan Lum, Associate Vice President, Lead Wealth Advisor at WHZ Strategic Wealth Advisors.
All right, so let's talk about why this time of the year is such a good time to review retirement planning. What's on your mind?
Yeah, so first quarter of the year is a good checkpoint to really evaluate what's going to happen for the rest of the year. It's a good point. Already we can see some trends, whether that's market, economics, spending, or taxes. So we have a good idea of what the rest of the year should bring, but it's also not too late in the year where you can't make any meaningful changes. So I think reviewing your financial plan in the first quarter and making any necessary changes is a great spot to be in.
So I understand the number one item on that checklist is to review retirement contributions.
Yeah, so contributions increased again for 2026, which creates a meaningful opportunity. For IRA accounts, the traditional and Roth IRA accounts, the limits increased to $7,500 with a special catch-up contribution of $1,100 for people age 50 and up. And then for workplace retirement accounts like 401ks, the limit has increased to $24,500. And for people 50 and up, there is a catch-up contribution of $8,000. And then this sort of enhanced special catch-up contribution for people ages 60 to 63, which is $11,250. So all of that combined, creates really meaningful retirement balances, and compounded over time can really create some meaningful differences.
Item 2, portfolio balancing. That's another big piece of the puzzle, right?
Yeah, that's right. So, in a quick example here, if you have a portfolio that's 50% equities and 50% fixed income, which is a little bit safer than equities, especially over the past 3 years where equities have outperformed and done really well, your equity portfolio might start to drift up a little bit and create some more growth, which is good. We like growth, but it also may leave clients with a little bit more unnecessary risk. So it's important to capture that growth while staying within the risk tolerance for the client's financial plan and risk appetite.
Okay. What about beneficiary reviews? This sounds simple enough, but it seems like that could be overlooked.
Yeah, that's true. That's item number 3 on the list here. And it's arguably one of the most important things to consider. It's really simple, writing someone's name down or typing someone's name, but it's often overlooked. I think one important thing to note is that beneficiary designations override what's in a will. So a lot of times people won't update them and they'll run into a headache later on, when someone passes away and there's a whole dispute about who gets what. The beneficiaries weren't updated on accounts. So I think, taking the quick time to update the beneficiaries will save you a lot of headaches down the road.
Okay, obviously taxes play a role in retirement planning. What should people be thinking about this time of the year?
Yeah, it's a great time to review tax strategies like withholding. I used to think that, getting a large tax benefit return at the end of the year was a good thing. But, if you think about it more closely, you're essentially giving the government an interest-free loan, which is, it's not efficient. So what you should really try and do is get a net zero return, meaning, you might owe a couple $100, you might get back a couple $100. But I think that's the most efficient approach there. And then coming up with a strategy with distributions from accounts, whether it's taxable accounts like bank accounts, your tax deferred accounts like IRAs, 401ks, and your tax-free accounts like the Roth accounts, coming up with a strategy to really help mitigate any uncertain tax consequences is a great strategy.
So what about healthcare costs for retirees, since healthcare is such a major concern today?
Yeah, one of the large deterrents for people retiring early is the bridge between retirement and Medicare eligibility. It's expensive healthcare, and so I think taking the time to consider those consequences and that cost before you jump into an early retirement is important.
What about Social Security decisions? That can also carry long-term consequences. Tell me about that.
Yeah, definitely. So claiming too early can lead to permanently reduced benefits, while delaying Social Security either to full retirement age or age 70 can leave you with permanent increase in benefits. But I think it's something to consider on a case-by-case basis regarding health, your expected timeline, and planning horizon. So that's important to consider as well.
Pretty thorough list there, Logan. Any final checklist items we should focus on before spring arrives?
Yeah, I think best practice, reviewing budgets, checking in on required minimum distributions if applicable, and doing some estate planning review are some of the best things that I could leave you with.
For more information regarding wealth management and customized financial planning with WHZ Strategic Wealth Advisors, please visit WHZwealth.com. WHZ Strategic Wealth Advisors offer securities and advisory services through Commonwealth Financial Network, member FINRA SIPC, a registered investment advisor. Fixed insurance products and services offered through CES Insurance Agency. They practice at 697 Pomfret Street, Pomfret Center, Connecticut 06259, and 392A Marrow Road, Tolland, Connecticut 06084. They can be reached at 860-928-2341. WHZ Strategic Wealth Advisors do not provide legal or tax advice. The tenured financial services team strives to support clients in achieving their financial life goals while providing absolute confidence and unwavering partnership for life.